it's Sherri from A Quilting Life, and I'm here today with the November 2025 Works in Progress. It's been a busy little time with Quilt Market and retreat, but I do have some projects to share with you. And I'm also going to give you all the details about the Poinsettia and Pear cross-stitch projects that my friend Katie Nolan did in collaboration with the Poinsettia and Pear patterns that I have. So I'm going to show you some projects and some cross stitch, and it's going to be a lot of fun things and also some great ideas for coming up for the holidays if you're wanting to look for some great gift ideas. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, I'm super excited to share these projects with you today. I just have a few, and then after I share my works in progress, I will get to the cross stitch. I'm first going to share these two Mahalo blocks. This is actually my Mahalo mini quilt, and it is included in my Mahalo pattern. This is a pattern actually from about 10 or 11 years ago that I did in our third fabric collection, Desert Bloom. I decided to teach this quilt at a retreat a couple weeks ago, and the retreat happened to be in Hawaii, and so Mahalo seemed like the very perfect quilt to teach in Hawaii. In fact, since I've been home, I just keep wanting to say mahalo to everybody instead of thank you. But so this is the mini, and I had kits for everyone at the retreat that used our Delightfully Yours collection fabrics mixed in with some older prints. So some of these prints are actually pretty old, going back to Seashore Drive and Simply Delightful, some Strawberry Lemonade in there. The kits were all different and utilized different fabrics. So here's Bountiful Blooms and Favorite Things. And this one even has a little bit of Poinsettia and Pear, but the women got all different fabrics in their kits, and I think they loved them. So this is the mini. This is the sample I made to take to the retreat. This is the size of one block, and the quilt has 9 blocks this size. And so I didn't want to remake my whole quilt since I already have had it made in Desert Blooms, but I did want to show them what their quilt was going to look like. So I really had fun making these. I'm actually going to have Billy pop up a picture of the mini. One of the women from the retreat, actually her name was Nicole, and she's from the UK. She made a mini. She didn't get it finished, but she made some of the blocks with her leftovers. I took a picture of her little block that she started, and we will pop that up because Nicole's mini version is going to be incredible. And one more thing I want to tell you about this before I move on is the pattern is written for applique, and you make the wedges and you use a template for the wedges, and you use applique to put them on background squares. That's how I made it when I made the first quilt. Since then, I've learned that the Circle Savvy ruler is phenomenal for making this quilt, and that way you don't have to do any applique. And you also can use the It's So Emma Starburst 30-degree template for your wedges. So I found a couple of new ways that I used when I taught at that retreat, and it was phenomenal. I did do a printout with the directions for the Circle Savvy ruler. If any of you are interested in that, if you order a paper copy, I will send a copy of it with your pattern. If you order the digital version, I will add that to the file so that you can download it. And if you've already purchase the pattern, if you can send me an email with a picture of your pattern, I can email you the information for the Circle Savvy ruler. You still have to have the pattern to make the quilt, but those directions were helpful to everyone at the retreat. Okay, moving on. Before I went to the retreat, I finished up a project that had been on my list for a long time. I made a patchwork duffel. This is from Caitlin of Knot and Thread. This is her pattern. I had all these fabrics out for my kits, and so I kind of used the same ones. I used a lot of Delightfully Yours, but I mixed in some of my older favorite fabrics. This was a blast to make. I did use Simply Delightful, or no, I used Delightfully Yours for my straps. I still need to make a carrying strap. I have the hardware on here ready for that. Now, Caitlin's original pattern did not include the directions for the carrying strap, but she has the information on her website, and she also filmed a video showing you how to make that. I can put a link to that in the description. But if you buy her revised pattern, it does have the carrying strap in there. One thing I want to show you is you use a double slide by any zipper, which really makes it easy to just open and get it out. I used my Dresden fabric for my lining from Raspberry Summer, which was super fun. I feel like the inside is almost as cute as the outside. And Caitlin also has you bind the inside edges, so there are no unfinished edges on this bag. It's just really great. I used the red from Delightfully Yours for that. Now, you can purchase from the By Annie website an acrylic bottom. And this is just one I had from another bag that I slid in here, and it happened to be the right size. So I'm good with that. I'm probably going to make a little cover for that to keep it covered. But anyway, terrific bag. Now, if you listen to the podcast where I recently just interviewed Caitlin, I mentioned that I had been working on this, but Caitlin also shared with me her All the Things tote. And I saw it on the podcast, and Caitlin actually sent me the pattern right after we talked that day. And I got this made in time to take to my retreat. I was super excited that I had this fabric already quilted, and I had just enough to make this bag. So I was really, really grateful. It has pockets on the ends and kind of a different technique for the strap, which I really loved, but it was super easy. And again, I used Delightfully Yours for the inside. There is a slip in here in the bottom where I can order one of those acrylic plastic bottoms. This is a different size than this. This bag is a little bit shorter, but By Annie also sells the acrylic bottom for this tote. So I am going to be ordering one of those because I really like I actually took this on the plane to my retreat, and it was awesome as a carry-on. It fit under the seat in front of me, but I did love having that hard bottom on there. And so I'll be actually getting the acrylic bottom for this. One more thing I wanted to talk to you about with this is that this is the large size of this pattern, and Caitlin's pattern for this comes with 3 sizes. So I'm already planning on making a middle size and a small size just to see kind of, how they are in real life. And I think they might make great gifts for the grandkids or even for my daughter-in-law or friends. This is a great size, and I took it to the retreat and everybody loved it. So I think a lot of those women from our quilting retreat are going to be making the All the Things tote. Okay, that is the sewing that I got done in November that I can show you. I'm actually working on, we're going to be I'm just going to tell you right now, we're releasing another collection next month. So I am crazy busy sewing with that. And thankfully, by the time I share a December works in progress, I will be able to share it with you, what I'm working on right now. But I also today wanted to share the cross stitch patterns that we mentioned. So this first one, and I will link all of the information in the description below. This first one Katie did in collaboration with my Wreath and Pine pattern. So there's a Wreath and Pine quilt pattern that looks like this, and she just did a beautiful, beautiful job. I'm pretty sure she painted the frame to match. I'll have all that information in the description below, and a link also to where she got the frame. A lot of times she gets the frames from Amazon and then she paints them herself. All of these cross-stitch projects also were in our booth at Quilt Market. Okay, this is just a little mini pillow that she did with our Posies and Pairs pattern, and I love how she did the 1 posy and the 2 pairs. Such a cute little border, and she put rickrack. I always send her a mini charm pack so she can match the colors, and I love how she used those mini charms for the backing on this. Really love this one. She also did, if you remember, we had a lovely quilt, which was a heart quilt that we did with that collection. And she did a lovely little cross-stitch pattern. Wouldn't this make the sweetest Valentine's Day gift? I love how she did all the different designs in the hearts. And she kind of mimicked our fabric. We have, you know, the 3 flowers on the gray, and we have the gingham. And I just love what she did. And again, she used the mini charms to finish, and a really pretty pink lace. This one, these are stitched on quite small cloth, but I will give you all the details. And I know her cross stitch patterns have options for different sizes. Okay, love these ornaments she did. So this is the pear, and this is the Whimsy Stars block. And this again is the posy flower, just a little bit bigger than that. But love these ornaments. There are 2 little things, and they're put together, and they're just a twine string for a hanger. These are incredible. They were so much fun to have hanging on the tree in our Quilt Market booth. And then one more project with the Whimsy Stars quilt, and she's got this one framed, and she's actually just got it in a hoop, and then it fits in this frame. So I'll link to where she got that in the description. And just beautiful. Just really, really love this. I believe there are dowels that you can stick in the back and have it stand up. So again, all of these patterns are available now, and they are available individually for the cross stitch and also as a bundle. And I will link all of that information and have it for you. I hope you enjoyed seeing some of these projects and maybe even got a few ideas for your own Christmas sewing. I feel like even the little tiny pear would make a very cute little ornament, a smaller one, or this size pear. It's such a great size. But yeah, lots of ideas here for your sewing. And if you want to make totes as gifts, this pattern goes together. I made it in just a couple of hours if you have your fabric already quilted. Okay, so that's it for my November 2025 works in progress and the Poinsettia and Pear collaboration cross stitch projects from Katie Nolan of Count Your Stitches Designs. I will have links to everything in the description below. The Patchwork duffel, the All the Things tote, the Mahalo block, and the Mahalo mini, and then all of the details that Katie gave me for the cross stitch projects. We hope that you enjoyed seeing all of these projects and that hopefully you got some good ideas for sewing along or for making gifts for you or your friends or your family. If you enjoyed today's video, please share it with a friend, hit the like button, and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Thanks so much for stopping by.